Well, we are back again. This is I Am Sure Sports, and I am Omar Stennett. Indeed, I am extremely delighted to be with you one more time for another episode. Yes, indeed, as the great one, the MC, the big producer, Tommy Cowan, would say. Hope you are doing well wherever you are today, wherever you are viewing us from. If it's morning, good morning. If it's afternoon, good afternoon. If it's night, good night. And if it's in the evening time, good evening. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you. Yeah. All right. Now we have some good stuff to share with you on this episode. But before we get into it, I want to stop today to say something very important. I want to thank you. I want to thank all our subscribers. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, and the work has just begun. And so again, please help me as I help you. How do you do that? You share, you subscribe, you like. Right, get your husband to subscribe, your wife to subscribe, your boyfriend to subscribe, your girlfriend to subscribe, your son to subscribe, your daughter to subscribe, your granny to subscribe, your grandpapa to subscribe, get your mongrel dog who have a smartphone to subscribe, get your cat to just subscribe. I would really appreciate that. You know, there's so much content out there, and you could have watched something else, you could have subscribed to something else, but you have given us your support, and we want to thank you for that. All right. I have a couple of things to speak about. We want to speak about the passing of Tremaine Stewart, former Reggae Boy footballer. We want to speak about the European Super League. We want to speak about some track and field. We want to talk about some NBA basketball, and just give a quick run through of the EPL, what happened last week, the FA Cup. So much to cover. So let's dive right into it. First, I want to express, I Am Sure Sports want to express its deepest condolences to the family of Tremaine Stewart. Tremaine Stewart, a former national footballer, attended Eltham High, was very good. Above average at the high school level in local football, did well, represent Jamaica at the junior levels, and also at the senior level. He has 12 caps, meaning he has represented Jamaica 12 times at the international level, scored 2 goals, represented Portmore United. He has also played for Waterhouse, led them to a couple of finals, and his last team was Dunbeholden. Didn't play a game for them because since his transfer, we have been under lockdown. And what we have heard in the media is that he was actually playing some football in his community on Sunday. He collapsed on the field. He was taken to the hospital, and he has not recovered. Must be sad. He's married and have kids, and so you can imagine the difficulty for that mother, for that wife, and for those children. And so our prayers are with him and his family. I hope the football fraternity of Jamaica will be there to support them. We don't know the cause of this, and we don't want to speculate, right? But maybe, I don't know, could this have been averted if they were playing football? You will never know, and you can't blame anyone really. Just life is like that, there are certain sureties in this life that one day we're born and the next day we die. The thing is that you don't get to choose when you're born, you don't get to choose when you die. What you get to choose is where you go after you die. All mankind get to choose that. And so here's the thing, it's what you decide while you're alive that you get when you are dead. You understand me? Death is certain, but the timing of it is so uncertain. So, I just pray for his family that they will stay strong in this. Listen, Tremaine Stewart is a very fiery character on the football field, right? If you watch him in the last couple of seasons at Waterhouse, especially when they played Mount Pleasant and came up against Donovan Duke it was something to behold. He's what they call a set play specialist in Jamaica. Very good on the free kicks. Very, very skillful, talented, gifted guy. He played overseas, and I mean, tremendous loss. He may have been past the stage where he would have represented Jamaica, but he would have been an instrumental part in any team that he represented in the local Premier League. So condolences again to his family. I mean, let us pray for them and support them during this difficult time. And if you don't know the cause of death, wait until the autopsy or whatever. Don't speculate. Don't say things you don't know. All right? And so, yeah, our regards to his family. All right? Whoa. I mean, whoa. Just that's it. Whoa. Let's now speak about the results of the FA Cup over the weekend. We had the semi-finals of the FA Cup, and I am sure Sports got the prediction wrong. I am sure that if Pep Guardiola followed me, he would have won the game. That man is a stubborn coach, but you have to give me some credit because I've been telling you about this guy called Thomas Tuchel. He is a tactical genius, and that is why I believe Chelsea will finish second in the Premier League. I am sure. People forget that this guy took PSG to the finals of the Champions League, and they were only defeated by Bayern Munich. Before that, he was in Germany and he did well at Borussia Dortmund. He is a good coach, all right? And Pep Guardiola suffered because he's stubborn. All right, have you wondered why he didn't replace Raheem Sterling? Why didn't he had 5 substitutions and he didn't use them? Now I rate the coach, but he made some serious blunders. This is a semi-finals. Why would you rest Kyle Walker, Zinchenko? Why? Why you had to bench Gundogan? Where was Bernardo Silva? Where was Riyad Mahrez? Where was, Kun Aguero? What is wrong with Pep? Benjamin, what's his name? Mendy? That guy was awful. Fernandinho awful. And he didn't substitute them. Chelsea. This guy took the same squad Frank Lampard was struggling with to have clean sheets. And the man has so many clean sheets. They won by 1-0. 1. Defeated Manchester City, and now they are in the finals of the FA Cup. No, I did say Manchester City would have won the quadruple. Meaning FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Premier League, and Champions League. I am sure Sport was sure until Pep made a mistake. So we're still sure. It can't happen again, obviously. But they can do the triple. Let's see if that will happen. I believe they will get the better of Tottenham in the final of the Carabao Cup. I think Tottenham made a very strategic move though. Here's what Tottenham did. They just fired Mourinho. Yes. Mourinho has been mourning, I'm always mourning. Has been fired by Tottenham after around 17 months. It was coming. Tottenham form has declined under Mourinho. Pochettino was getting more out of this team than Mourinho. Listen, I respect Mourinho in his early days, but I think he has lost the plot. Something has gone wrong. I think his reputation precedes him. When Mourinho gets to a club, the players already have preconceived ideas about him. And therefore, there are some reservations in terms of how much they can trust him as a coach. And I think that is going to affect him until he takes a sabbatical from football for around 4 years and learn some new coaching methods and theories and practices, and then he get back into the game. Right now, he needs to go in, not retirement, but he needs to take a sabbatical. But I think the move from Tottenham is really like this. Tottenham kind of know that when you replace a coach and you get a new coach in, it gives the players a oomph. And I think they did this because they believe this is the best way to get a oomph going into the finals of the Carabao Cup. But it could be unsettling because what may happen, a new coach may come in and bring in some players who Mourinho had on the bench who may not have been having a lot of match practice and a game time. Right? And that may affect the performance of Tottenham. So because of the unsettling nature of the Tottenham squad and the Tottenham dressing room, I will have to select City to win the Carabao Cup this weekend. All right? It's very possible. It's a final, and this is a cup that City has won the most of in the last 10 years in England. So you have to give it to them. They rarely lose this. They struggle in the FA Cup, which is kind of funny, but they win the Carabao Cup. Right, so I am picking City to win, but look for Tottenham to be better at least for their next 3 games because a change of management will give the players an oomph. Right, so I just segued it into that because the Mourinho thing. But let me get back now to the FA Cup. So Chelsea, they advanced. The other game was Leicester City versus Southampton, and Leicester City won that by 1-0 again. Iheanacho, he scored the lone goal in the game. Great work by Jamie Vardy to set him up. I don't know if some of you know this, but Iheanacho was at Manchester City and they replaced him with Gabriel Jesus because they felt like it would have been better to develop Gabriel Jesus. Do you know that Iheanacho is performing a whole lot better than Gabriel Jesus? So should City have kept Iheanacho instead of Gabriel Jesus? No, I'm a Brazilian, but I think Gabriel Jesus is overhyped. He reminds me of another Brazilian called Robinho, who also played for City, incidentally, but never lived up to the hype that surrounded his name. All right, so the finals will be Chelsea versus Leicester City. It will be the Battle of the Blues. And wow, I have to pick Chelsea, man. I just have to pick Chelsea. Chelsea is, I rate this coach. In fact, I was thinking that he would have come to my club, Arsenal, before Arteta, but they didn't do that. I think if he had left PSG in time, they would have probably hired him, right? But bam, it's not happening. And so, in fact, there are many people in Germany who rate Thomas Tuchel, higher than Jurgen Klopp. Because Jurgen Klopp, who is one of those coaches who is very stick-to-itive. He sticks to his system no matter what. And people find that Tuchel is one of those who changes his system based on who he's playing and what he wants to accomplish in a particular game. And I like those kind of coaches. They are willing to adjust based on what is happening around them and in their squad. All right, so that's going on right there. And so that's the FA Cup for you. We spoke about Tremaine, we spoke about Jose Mourinho, and think what else is there. I mean, the Premier League, no surprises this weekend. Arsenal drew 1-1 with Fulham. Newcastle came from behind and defeated West Ham. I am not surprised, right? People forget that Newcastle struggles began when they had injuries mounting up. St. Maximin got injured at one point and Callum Wilson was out. And so they were losing some of their key players and key defenders. Now that they have most of their players coming back from injuries, you're seeing the Newcastle that early in the season, they were looking like a top 10 club. And so defeated West Ham. West Ham may be struggling to stay in the top 4. Let us see how that is going to pan out. I still keep my picks. Liverpool, they are supposed to take on, while we're doing this video, they are supposed to be taking on Leeds. Today we kind of gave you our predictions on that last week. As you know, Tottenham and Everton played to a 2-2 tie, not good for either of those clubs. And so no major thing happening there. If you go over into the La Liga, my pick to win the championship, Atletico Madrid, they won their game by 5-0. So now they're leading Real Madrid by, I believe, 3 points. Yeah, 3 points. They are 70. Real Madrid are on 67 because Real Madrid ended 0-0 in their game, and Barcelona has a game to play. And if Barcelona wins that game, I believe that they will be now 2 points behind Atletico Madrid. I think it's going to be a close race, but somehow I think this one time, as poor as I think Diego Simeone's management, seasonal management is, he's going to pull this one off. Yeah, that's my pick for that. Now I'm going to get into some track and field, but I'm going to come back to some more football stuff at the back end of the video, so don't miss that. All right, now the Inter-Secondary School Association, ISA, Mr. Wellington, did their proposal, and finally they have received approval from the government of Jamaica to stage champ this year. The middle of May, they're planning on staging champs. Now, personally, I would love to find out what is the reason for having champs. Because if it is so that athletes can qualify to go to college, they don't need a chance to do it. They just need to participate in developmental meets and run good times. You don't need to stage champs. Who is it? Is it the money that you'll be losing that you're trying to get? It must be. The money, not for the athletes per se, but for ISA. It must be about the money. Now, I think champs is good. I love champs, but I think there's too much risk involved. Because the real issue is this: how can high school athletics be given the approval, but professional football cannot be given approval or has not been given the approval? How can you give amateurs approval, but the professionals can't get approval? What makes the decision makers believe that amateur athletes are better able to protect themselves from the COVID virus than, or the coronavirus, than professional athletes would? That's a question that needs to be answered. And my suggestion to ISA would be, I know it's hard, but find some meets. Put some of these senior, junior athletes, you understand what I mean? The fifth formers and the sixth formers, those who have their last year in school, to do some of the meets with the professional athletes and meet the qualifying or get the times that they need to get their college scholarship. But to force them or push them into a champs is too risky at this time. And it's just about bragging rights for school and money. That's it. That's it. There are many schools that cannot put together a proper team. So you will not have the same amount of athletes and the quality competition that you normally have anyways. I cannot believe that schools are observing protocols as they are preparing for champs. In terms of especially the bigger schools. I'm talking about the KCs, the JCs, the Edwin Allen, the Homewood, those bigger schools, the St. Jagos, the Calabars, that have 50, 60, 70 athletes at the event. How are they keeping them in training in an environment that is safe? How often are these athletes being tested? And are these results being presented to the Ministry of Health to ensure that they are in good health? Now, I want sports to restart, but I cannot agree with amateur sports being given the okay when professional sport is still being put on the back burner. In other words, people who are paid to do a job are told that they cannot do it. But people who are doing it for free are being allowed to. That's really what it boils down to. I am sure that if Issa were to sit down and look at preparing for champs for next season, it would reap greater results. I'm very sure that there are parents out there who will not allow their kids to participate in these champs because they're going to be exposed to all kind of danger. Not only that, kids are already struggling in school with online learning. And will this take away from their time to prepare for their exams? Because it is right. In fact, some schools have exams during that time. At least the practical parts of their SBAs need to be done. All of those things that makes a part of their end results. So we need to seriously consider, check that out, and see what is happening. We also had the Velocity meet. This is where a professional athlete was at the National Stadium. I mean, not a lot of standout performances. I mean, we kind of funny. Well, we had the hurdler, Broadbelt. He ran a world leading time, and I think by the time he did his interview, the American world champion did a race in the States, and he ended up having the world leading time. But at least we got to see some of the athletes. We saw the Asafa Powell. We saw Shelly-Ann Fraser looking as composed as ever. The pocket rocket she looks like the cool, calm, mature rocket. You understand me? I mean, she was just smooth on the 200 meters. Elaine Thompson here, excellent race that she did. Good performances. The 400-meter woman, that was also good. Tajay Gale was defeated in the long jump. That was not his best time. Odean Richards did well in the throw, and I think he broke the meet record. And so I would say good performances. It also gave the senior athletes an opportunity to stretch their legs as they prepare to go to the world relays. Many are saying it's an under-strength team, but we must listen. The world relays is like an opportunity to test out some of our athletes, I believe. And I think the move by the J3A is a very good move in terms of how they selected the team. I know Shelly-Ann Fraser Price is not there, and some of the bigger athletes are not a part of the squad. And I'm okay with that because maybe they opted not to be a part of the squad for whatever reason. As senior athletes, Shelly-Ann Fraser, she gets the liberty of choosing when she runs and where she runs. She's that big. And no pressure, nothing at all. And don't be surprised if you are surprised by some of these athletes. We must also understand that those athletes in the intercollegiate season would not have been allowed for the most part to participate in the world relays because they have their own season going on. And so the team was selected from primarily professional athletes, whether you are here in Jamaica or overseas. You don't see Brianna Williams, for example, because it is not necessary. And I think what you'll find is that most of the other squads will probably be like the Jamaican squad. At least you have not seen in a long while, you have never heard their names. And so Jamaica may still do well. I believe so. I think we are going to medal in most of the relays, maybe all of the relays. I think unless of course, relays are very unpredictable, especially the sprint relays, because buttons will fall when you're under pressure. But outside of that, I think, the performances will be will be okay. It won't be our greatest performances at the World Relay, but it will be good enough to get us some medals, because I don't think most of the other nations will be bringing their strongest teams. Just because many athletes, they are in their early season because of the pandemic, and they are not in the best physical condition, and the real top athletes may stay away from this to prepare for some other Diamond League races. So just look out for that. Like I said, champs is going to happen, but I'm not sure if that is the best thing. All right, the IPL is on. The IPL is the Indian Premier League, and Chris Gayle started out well, had a good run in the first game for Kings Punjab. Nicholas Poran plays for that team. He has been struggling. Chris Gayle did well. Pollard is over there. Hetmeyer is there. Jason Holder is there. Darren Bravo is there. Sunil Narayan is there. Andrew Russell is there. Good individual performances, but it's a little bit early now to kind of speak about what is going to happen and how it's going to pan out. I mean, but Nicholas Poran needs to get in form. I think 3 games and he hasn't had one major score or had any impact on his team's performance, and so I'm hoping that very soon, you know me, I believe that Nicholas Poran is one of the best young West Indies batsmen, and I believe at one day T20 and in Test cricket, and I think West Indies need to challenge him to play more Test cricket. I believe he's that good. He is that good that he could challenge Joshua De Silva in terms of wicket-keeper batsman. He's that good, right? But let's see how, he will perform at the back end of the IPL, because he certainly has not started well. Andre Russell had his best bowling figures in T20 cricket in his, not the last game, but the game before that. He took 5 wickets for 15 runs. Listen, in T20, having 4 overs for 15 runs is good. Getting 5 wickets is big. Very few bowlers have done that, and so kudos to Dre Ross. Real big man. Looks like he has finally gotten over his knee injury. Seems to be bowling with more pace and to be running around and not coming up. It's kind of funny. Every time, most times he plays in the IPL, he's in the best of health, but as soon as it finishes, all the lingering pains and stuff come back. So big up to the guys over there performing. Keep them going, and big things going on. All right, just quickly to touch on the NBA, I have to talk about my New York Knicks. Woo, woo, woo. Hi, yes. Finally, it looks like my New York Knickerbockers will be in the NBA playoffs for a long while. Since 2013, this would be the first time we are in the NBA playoffs. We are like 31-27 on a 6-game win streak. We have 5 games at home, and I would love for us to win all 5. So we need to win like 11 more games, and we are in the playoffs. I don't want to finish down 7th, 8th. Down those places we have to have the playoff. No, I want us to get to either 4th seed or 5th seed. I want us to avoid Brooklyn, Philadelphia, and Milwaukee in the first round. Give me Boston or Atlanta or Charlotte. Give me one of those teams, or Miami. Yeah, Miami. Give me one of those teams. And Julius Randle, Emmanuel Quickly, Derrick Rose, Nerz Noel, RJ Barrett, yes, Eldred Payton, yes, Mitchell Robinson, Taj Gibson, and our big coach Tom Thibodeau. We will dust out Boston, dust out Atlanta, dust out Miami, and make it to the 2nd round. And that will be the end of the journey. And that is the end of the show. I hope you enjoyed this one. You really love it. If you're happy and you love it, please subscribe. Amen. Listen, all of us have an opportunity every day to do one good. Every morning you get up, seek to do one good deed, to add value to someone's life. by the word that you speak and the things that you do. Seek to add value to people's life. All of us every day can do at least one good deed. What is your good deed? Blessings and God's speed. Subscribe.